How you doing, everybody? Tim from Ski Rex Media once again on our weekly trip into this world of snow sports and everything that goes with it. Sure, we talk skiing, sure, we talk snowboarding, sure, we talk other snow sports, but we also talk about things in and around them. And that leads us to today's interview, which we will get to in a few minutes. And this is a fun one too. I really dig this one. I think you'll like this one too. But I say that every week, but this one's fun too. This one's especially fun. A lot of passion in this woman, a lot of excitement in this woman, and deservedly so. And we'll get to that. But don't forget, please, if you would, to subscribe to Ski Rex Media, whether you're looking at the video version on YouTube or Rumble, whether you're listening to one of the many audio platforms that has the Ski Rex Media podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Pandora, all kinds of places. Pick your favorite, then go ahead and subscribe or follow, whichever it is, whichever term they use. And also make sure you rate it, if you would, please, a 5-star rating, but whatever you think I deserve. Leave some comments. I like the interaction too. Go ahead and check all that out. Also go to skirexmedia.com. The Ski Rex Media social media pages on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn, even, at Ski Rex Media. Check all those out. Plus, if you want yourself you want to show off your fandom, like I got the cap, I got the shirt. If you want a cap or a shirt, go ahead to skirexmediamerchshop.com or skirexmedia.com. There's a link there too, and links in the description. And you can also go to Patreon if you want and get in on that. All kinds of things going on over there. Well, not all kinds of things, but some things, some fun things. Anyway, now that the shameless plugs are out of the way, today our guest is Kimberley Kay, second woman guest, second UK guest, but first true artist that we have on the program. You'll hear that in the mini intro later on. We talk all about her book, her new book coming out very soon. Might even already be out, depending on when I get this up, but it should be coming out. Trust me, it's out. You can look it up. Ski A to Z. Written and illustrated by Kimberley Kay. Very fun book with all kinds of ski tips, all kinds of ski thoughts, and some very, very wonderful artwork that she has illustrated herself completely 100%. It's very awesome. She did some of the illustrations in 30 Years in a White Haze, Dan Egan's book, which we all read and we all watched the episode when Dan Egan was on the program. So we're going to talk to her for a little bit. We're going to talk all about the book. We're going to see some of the illustrations, including the one I feel is my favorite and a lot of other people like too. It's a really fun interview. I think you'll dig it, and I think you'll dig Kim too. She's really kind of awesome, all right? So let's get into the interview. I won't keep you any longer with this intro, and we'll see you on the other side of it. So this week on Ski Rex Media Podcast, we have our second lady friend. We have our second UK visitor, but I think our first actual artist, Kimberley Kay, now author and artist whose work you've seen before. We'll get into that. Kim, how are you doing this afternoon where you are?
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, excellent. Excellent. The sun is shining. Winter is coming, and I'm very excited. So real quick, go ahead and tell everybody who may not know who you are, because I know you have a pretty decent following on Instagram and probably other social media. That's where I found you, was on Instagram. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm presently author and illustrator. I've just announced that the book that I've been working on is being published. So that's the Ski A to Z. So I'm sure we'll talk more about that. And I've skied basically since I was 5 years old. I grew up in Lancashire, England, and there was a dry ski slope 5 minutes drive from our house. And so basically we used to go swimming. And then there were power cuts, which meant that the pools were all closed. So my parents were looking for something else for us to do. And so it was the ski slope. And really, it kind of changed the whole course of our family and our futures. And so basically grew up on what you call plastic or dry slope. Sure. But also going out to Meyerhofen and Austria. And that's where I think it really kind of the magic began. And so basically all that time, skiing, racing, working at the dry slope, overseas, teaching children to ski in Austria. And then that's kind of led really to this project of illustrating skiing and putting all that kind of passion and knowledge into this book project.
Excellent. Excellent. So you are all in. It's not just like snow sports are a passing fancy. You are all in. I mean, the book is is kind of, it's obvious that you're all in. It's got a lot of good information and it's a whole thing, but you're still all in. So you're all in now, even, are you gearing up, getting ready for this season? I know a lot of people are. I know I am.
Yeah, I mean, I've been illustrating ski on ski themes now since January last year, and I just started off as a sort of project. After skiing one day, I thought, what shall I paint? And this was in France, in the Three Valleys, and I thought I'll paint ski equipment. I thought it was something that people hadn't really seen much ski related art, so I thought I'll use that as a kind of a project to kind of upskill, and then through that, to be honest, it's kind of almost felt like I've been in perpetual winter, really,
Awesome.
sort of since that time, because like everything I'm doing has become around ski, and sometimes it's like I go outside and I think, oh my goodness, it's not winter,
Yeah.
and so but it's a great environment, isn't it? When we're in the mountains, we're out in the fresh air, in nature, in the majesty of kind of our planet, and
Sure.
and so sort of through all these lockdowns and restrictions that we've had, and all this awful kind of time for people losing loved ones, I've been just basically kind of push that time and focus into working on the ski illustrations in the book. And so yeah, totally can't wait for the winter. Crossing
Awesome.
fingers, but not trying to get too kind of excited. But yeah, I think it's I guess it's about as well, not just when you're on the mountain, but trying to have that vibe that it gives us, and kind of carrying that through with for the rest of what I mean, if we can carry out good feelings through through like the rest of our time, then if we can kind of extend that feel good factor of skiing.
And it's great that you put it that way. And it seems like the book, Skiing A to Z, or A to Z, as I will translate for those of you who don't speak English. See what I did there? No, but playing around aside, the book, and you've put up the cover, so I think I can put up a picture of the cover for the video version, right?
Yeah.
Just so people can see it, and actually we'll get it the big. No, there we go. So A to Z, the illustrations are wonderful, almost kind of whimsical, and folks who are a fan of this program are accustomed to it because you did the illustrations for Dan Egan's book, 30 Years in a White Haze. That's correct.
Yeah, that's right. I've got the book here, actually.
There it is.
So
Thank goodness.
So I did 22 illustrations for Dan's fabulous book. And Dan contacted me through LinkedIn. He said he'd seen my work, thought that it looked really authentic and that I could tell that I knew skiing. So he asked me to do some sketches for 10 illustrations, liked more of the ones I'd suggested. And so we ended up at 22. So all those ones, all the tabs are my ones. So yeah, it was a great project to work on. It helped me to kind of see that, that's my favorite one.
Very good. I like that one too.
Yeah. It helped me to, to kind of feel a bit more confidence in what I was doing. And then when I then pitched my book concept, I think it really helped to be able to say that I'd worked on Dan's. But I'm not the only illustrator on the book. There were 5 illustrators. I think that there are more pieces of mine. But the thing is, I must recognize that and shout out to everyone that worked on the book. So
absolutely. And it's all fabulous. Dan was on this program. We were talking about the book. I read it. It was great. I'm glad you came prepared. Mine's across the room, my copy. So at least somebody came prepared for the day. But I did get to take a look at yours as well. You were able to make that happen. And I ran through it. And the interesting thing about your book is it to me anyway, not being a pro book reviewer, it really speaks to all kinds of different audiences who are getting into the sport, I think. Because like I said, the illustrations are wonderful. They're almost kind of whimsical in a way. And some of them are. One of my favorites in the book, and I'm not going to show it because I don't want to totally spoil it, but that the big après ski boot almost, I forgot what I was going
to. Do you want me to grab it?
Yeah, if you could, that'd be
original.
Awesome. Because I think that was my favorite bottom line one.
Yeah, so this is the original painting. I think this is a lot of people's favorites. So getting a bit of reflection there, but if I
That's
do
all
it
right.
maybe like that. Yeah. So it's basically that end of ski time when it's all going on. People are talking about their route from the day, and the kids are snowboarding, sledging, snowballing. People are having to signal the opposite way. They're getting the snacks after. I think in the States it's a lot of tacos, whereas in
Yeah.
France that'd be a crepe. And then you've got the band and people dancing on the tables, and then there's a bit of romance on the balcony. So yeah, so it's a real
See?
fun one to create. So yeah, so that's the après ski one. So yeah.
That's awesome. I love that one. That is absolutely my favorite. The only other one I would put on there for me, not saying that they're bad,
Yeah,
it's
no,
just
I'm
saying
interested to hear your favorites.
the two that spoke to me were that one, and then there was the avalanche gear one that's kind of like on a model sprue. I've built
Yeah.
more than my share of models in my day. So that one jumped out at me. I was
Yeah.
like, that is so cool. There's like almost a story in that. Like
Yeah.
there's something
Not
there.
that one actually.
Sure. Go ahead. Anything you want to chuck out, dude, it's your time.
So this was actually one that I did digitally. Most of the work in the book is in watercolors, but this one was
Sure.
digital. But when we were children, I used to play with my brother's action men and
Okay.
and my what they were called Cindy dolls, which was kind of a sort of competitor to Barbie. So basically, it's that idea of the kit. And you'd punch out those kind of toys and bits of plastic and the different elements, and it was just trying to get across something that's really quite a serious subject, avalanche safety, but in a
Sure.
way that's a little bit more, just a bit more fun, just so that it can still engage people and they can still, kind of absorb it without it being kind of too instructive. So.
Absolutely. I'm willing to bet there are pro mountaineers and backcountry folks who would absolutely love it if their gear could come like that. Just throw it in the bag and off and running.
Yeah.
But again, that is a lot of fun, and that's a lot of fun to think about. But to take it to a serious place, it that's what you need right there.
Yeah.
And it's good information to have, and that's the other beauty of the book. It is, I think some people pick it up and be like, "Oh, children's book." Well, there is some truth in that. It's, very accessible. But as you go through and start reading it, like, wow, that's a good idea. That's a good tip. That's a good idea. That is necessary. I don't want to use the word manual because it is fun, but it's not far off. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think that we live in a very visual time. When you ever read a social media post that doesn't have a photo or an image or an illustration. So to me, it's like, this is the way that our brains work. We want the picture and the words, and you can consume it. And there's a lot to remember when you're learning to ski, or you get into grips with skiing, or you're wanting to kind of upskill. There's a lot to try and remember. And I know personally I wouldn't remember it as well in words as I can if it's a visual. So the information's there in the book, it's there in text form, and then it's supported with the illustrations. And it's like, why should the kids just have all the fun? Do you know what I mean? Why can we not have illustrations? And some of them, it's not. There's nothing that's age inappropriate, other than 3 people having a hot chocolate hot tub.
That was a good one too. Actually, that made me laugh. I was like, that's not a half bad idea right there. But
but you know what I mean? I just thought it should be for everybody, because if you ski and you're trying to help your children to get into it, you can look at it with them. You can get something from it. They can get something from it.
Sure.
It might be grandparents trying to help the children, But I think one of the things is that, sometimes we've probably all had it where our friend comes to us and they say, "Oh, skiing looks great. I want to do it. I want to learn to ski." And you're like, okay. And you think, oh my God, it's such a long kind of journey from them sort of deciding that.
Sure.
To actually getting on the slopes. You know what I mean? And thing is, it's like, I mean, I taught my husband to ski and got him skiing. And then I got to a point where I knew, it was best to hand him to someone else for the sake of our marriage.
Never teach your spouse to ski. We learned that earlier in the month from someone else. So there you go.
But like he said, it's what I would have liked when I was learning to ski, and he kept asking me all these questions, and, it's like, well, what do I wear? And and like, how's this working? Will I not fall off the mountain? And and if you've never done it, and I think the thing is, if you've skied from a young age,
Sure.
you don't always know what people are gonna need to know, because it's just intrinsic to you. You've known it for so long,
Yeah.
and I think that going through that process with him, and then with his children, my stepchildren, helped me to kind of, you sort of deconstruct what and so that was part of the foundation as well for for the work for the book. And and yeah, I just think it works on different levels. I'm glad. It's great to hear that you enjoyed it, and and you find it useful. And but yeah, it's just skiing's for everyone, and so the book
Absolutely.
is for everyone.
Absolutely.
It's something that you can do, isn't it? You can do it, with your kids and your parents. You can have multi-generation groups all skiing together. And I think that's one of the wonderful things about the sport, is that people can all do it together. And so the book works in that way, where it works for everybody.
And you're not wrong. It's a very, very social sport. And for the places that were able to do it over the last year and a half, we were very lucky here in the US. We had a season where, like, the surrounding Melbourne area down in Australia, we were shot out 2 or 3 times, and other places, New Zealand, some places in Europe, it's never opened. So the social part definitely got whacked out for all of us. And that was no fun at all. But it's definitely going to make a comeback this year, I think, for everyone. And having a book like this that kind of pushes that idea as well as for everyone in the social aspect, what a great time for it to come out now that we're all getting back in it and racing for the mountains, which should be good. Now, again, it does have a lot of practical tips and tricks, which is great. And it does talk opera, like A for opera, man. It's just like, so it gets you at the beginning of the day all the way to the end of the day, and it's wonderful. How much now? You seem like you're very knowledgeable. You said you've been doing it since you were a kid, have taught all over the place, have taught people, have taught family. How much research had to go into this? Like, is this just all off the top of your head, or were you hitting the books like you were back in school?
No, I mean, there's quite a lot of it that was, was kind of part of my core messages, like to the kids, things like, make sure that before you set off onto a slope, you look uphill. When you stop in, I've had people fly into me, when they try and stop above me on the piste,
Totally.
So there were some key things that I always made sure that the kids always, kind of knew and sort of had that totally drummed in.
Yeah.
But then there were some other things where it was important to include those things, and I needed to research them. I got found myself going a little bit deep on snowmaking. And my husband's like, people don't need to know that it's a dendrite snowflake that's powder. And so I was like, okay, yeah, pull back.
They don't need to know it, but they might like to know it.
Yeah, that's coming later, I think. I'm going to do another project on that.
Nice.
But yeah, I found myself totally getting into the sort of snow science. And so I was making sure that, kind of fact checking, and also trying to give, there can be quite a different perspective, whether you're in Europe, UK, US. So I was trying to reflect the different perspective and, the different terminology for things, so that it's good for, kind of all English speaking territories. And so, yeah, I mean, I pitched the book with sample spreads, the cover, and very much, along the, kind of quite illustration led. And then it was like, okay, yeah, got to get all this content together and, and write it and write it in a way that it's accessible, and it tells people what they need to know without kind of totally overwhelming people. And so, but yeah, I'm pleased with it. It's a lot of time, effort, and hours and days gone into it. But I'm so glad that, we've got to this point where, I mean, literally every time someone comes to the door, I'm thinking it could be my hard copies of the book, because I know it's been sent. And so it's somewhere in transit to me, and I'm just like, it's so exciting.
it seems very exciting, and you are obviously wicked excited, and that's awesome. I love it. The book is laid out. You've done a great job with it. Like you said, you did the research. You knew what you knew. You did what you did. You went through it, and it couldn't be any more accessible. Like A to Z, the alphabet. Like it's alphabetically broken down. You couldn't have made it easier. Like it's really kind of awesome. And again, with all the illustration and stuff, it works out well. How have you? Now I know I've seen it ahead of time, so haha on everybody else. But have you been getting like what's the feedback been for those who have seen it?
Yeah, it's a small number of people who've seen it.
Sure.
I sent it to people that wanted to give me an honest opinion, and that like experts basically, and the feedback's really good. I mean, Dan Egan gave me a quote that's on the back cover of the book. Yep. And then Pat Sharples, I don't know if you know Pat, he's head coach for GB Snow Sports.
Sure.
And so they're prepping all the Team GB ready for Beijing 2022. And he gave me a fabulous feedback on it. And kind of sort of I'd done it, I've done it and gone through it, but when you get that feedback, then it's it's really it's wonderful to read that. And if I can just tell you what Dan said. I've not got it to hand now. I don't know whether you've got it in front of.
I do.
I tried to shut down too many windows so I didn't have too much going on. That's it.
Yeah, for the video version, people, it's up on the screen. But for those who listen to the audio, it says an entertaining insight into the world of skiing, ideal for anyone new to the sport. And that's Dan Egan, whom we all know and love, extreme skiing pioneer, and just a really nice guy and a New Englander like me. So we love Dan here. And that's high praise because of how well known and well loved he is. He's legit. He's the real deal. And then you have Olympic level coaches. They're legit. They're great. So anybody, I mean, if they're liking it, the rest of us kind of have to, don't we? Like, I don't know.
I hope so.
I think so. Yeah. Even in like an ebook format, it's kind of wonderful. Like I'm ready to get it in hand. And I don't do that much. I'm a very much a future person, ebook person. Like, unless it's something specific, I give me the ebook. But this, I kind of want it. It's almost, to be honest, there's like you have the boot in the background. I wouldn't mind having that on my wall right here as well. Like, there's framables in there. The art is wonderful. So you have a skiing background. What's your art background? Your artist background?
Yeah, so I was a little kid. I had this bedroom with my dad put this like kind of wooden sort of desk across in front of the window, and then I looked out onto these green, beautiful Lancashire hills, and I just used to love to draw, and I used to write stories, and I was doing it all the time, and that was up until I was about 7. Sure. And when I was 7, that's when we started then traveling around to ski races, and we'd travel all around the UK. We'd go up to Scotland. My mum would drive us up for the weekend to do races, and so basically, I think that kind of I always was very arty and very creative, but it went more kind of down the words route. I did an English degree. I had a travel PR career, which was very much writing press releases, scripts, that kind of thing. And then I got to a point where I basically blew my knee. And when you're trying to lug yourself around the house on crutches and you can't weight bear on a leg and you can't carry anything or move anything, you don't have much time to basically do anything. And I just thought, kind of what do I want to actually spend my time on? And it was the art that came through. Nice. And so I kind of feel in a way I've sort of moved to a degree away from kind of written descriptors to then the illustration side. So faced with a winter when I wasn't going to be able to do any sport because I was still kind of just getting back to walking. It took me a lot I had like 5 months on crutches. So I had to kind of learn how to walk again. And so I was basically faced with a winter of no sport, kind of, and with, when I take away my sport, I take away my social, because that's where I, see friends. And And so basically I decided to go back and do an art and design course, and did that for a year, and then thought, oh my God, I love this. So I said, can I come back next year, and did a different one.
Nice.
And then kind of illustration is sort of what's kind of come out of that. And I've done a lot of online courses, and just been trying to kind of tune into, you know, kind of what media I like, you know what I mean? It's like there's so many different art mediums. Like, where do you sort of start and stop, you know? And kind of what I responded to and what I wanted to create. But I feel with this that it just feels like I'm now on that right path.
Sure. That's awesome. And the right path is right, because now it's come out that you've been skiing your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You learned how to write, like, you know, and I get that. I learned how to write too. You've learned how to be an artist. Like, this was destiny. Like, I don't like that word a lot, but it kind of feels that way to me. I don't know. Do you agree? Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think so. Like that. It's like I kind of like, I love the emphasis on that. But yeah, it just, I think it's, I think when you're creating something that's very much from your own experiences, your own knowledge, and you know, kind of from your path, that's when you start to be able to create something which is, you know, it's like, I mean, everything you create is unique, you know, but it's uniquely you because it's your experience, you know, and so I'd always wanted to write a book. And I always wanted to have a book with a spine with my name on it.
Yeah.
And the dream's coming true. And it's funny that after, you know, kind of years of wanting that and sort of thinking in the past, oh, it could be about this, it could be about that. You know, I pitched this book in February to the publisher, Meyer and Meyer, same name as yourself. And, you know, and people can actually hold the book in December.
Nice.
And so from having a lifelong dream to then pitching to publishing just feels like fast track. And I guess that is when something is the right subject. You know, you're on the right topic. You're kind of you're in your groove, you're in your flow, to not get old.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. Excuse me. It's pretty awesome though that you've gotten it seems like it happens all so fast. Like you said, you pitched it in February. We can have it in hand in December. Like, that is so quick. Is your head spinning at all from that?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I worked lots of long days, you know, and then when I wasn't working, I was probably, you know, kind of trying to sleep upstairs and lying thinking about it and solving and yeah, so it was literally, you know, eat, sleep, breathe the project to achieve the deadlines, to be able to get it to be able to publish, you know, for those timings. And my target was for the ski shows. And so that was the target that I originally proposed, and that's the target timing in time for season is what we're achieving. So
that's awesome.
So at some point I'm going to kind of actually have a rest.
I hope so. Like, the season's coming. You got to be ready. Get a nap in before you go.
Get ski fit now.
You do. Hey, Abe Maynard, the ski system. Get the skisystem.com. Love Abe. Everybody loves Abe. Speaking of ski shows, now we just had our next big one here canceled again for the second year in a row. Do you have one of your big ones? I don't remember all the UK ones in my head. I know there's a couple of really big ones. Are you going to make it to one of them? And then are you going to be there yourself, or is the book going to be available there?
That's coming this weekend. So I'm not sure when we're going to be broadcasting, but so basically there was two that were planned. Then one of them got this. I mean, I kind of applied for the tickets for this year before last.
Nice.
So I didn't know then that it would be launching a book at it. But yeah, so I'm hoping that if those hard copies drop, because with Brexit and you know, shipping and things, it's a bit kind of uncertain. So basically, yeah, I will be there talking about the book, but I so hope I've got hard copy. But if not, I've got other information about it, and I've got a QR code for people and things. So
nice. I
did actually go to one of the American ski shows. I was in San Francisco on the way to New Zealand, and it was the ski show was on there. So I went to the ski show, and it was quite interesting actually. So I feel the difference between a UK ski show and the American one was the ski club system. And there were so many ski clubs there. And I think that that's more of a thing in the US where people go with a club and a part of the club system than I think is the case in the UK.
That's actually very interesting because that I didn't know. I know very little about the UK ski scene. I was talking to Simon Burgess, a travel snowboarder, a few weeks ago, and I straight up asked, I was like, dude, look, I don't know anything about skiing UK. Tell me about it. And he did. He told us about a few smaller places, and then we talked about indoor and things like this. It seems like not a different world, but just a different, maybe a little different culturally. I don't know. Is that accurate without being a jerk?
No. Of course not. It's your podcast. No, I think it's geographical, really. I mean, you've got the Ski Club of Great Britain, which is a kind of all Great Britain organisation. But otherwise, they're generally more kind of geographical. So if you've got a dry slope or an indoor snow slope, then they'll have probably a club there and people go to use that facility. Obviously, if you go north, then you get up to Scotland and there you've got ski resorts and it's for the hardy. I mean,
I've heard that
on a good day, but the winds and the weather you can experience, kind of you really earn your turns, So, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting that in the US there's going to be more snow slopes opening. I saw that story, and I think what's interesting is that for someone in the UK, if they're going skiing, they are either making a decision to go and try at a snow slope or a dry slope,
sure,
or they're committing and they need to know all the information they need to be able to commit to a holiday. So it's quite different in a way in the US how you might just travel upstate and go skiing. And how some resorts, when I was researching the book, how some resorts are literally just manufactured snow. And I thought that was fun. That was really interesting. I didn't realize that before, that they've got the temperatures and the humidity that you need. I don't want to get too techie to be able to snow make, but they don't get the actual snowfall. But I mean, it's a huge ski scene in the US and in Canada, and I have skied in Colorado,
nice.
Vail, Breckenridge, Arapahoe, and Keystone.
Okay.
So, and I visited Stowe in the summer, but not in winter.
Yes. Love Vermont. I'm in Vermont, so
beautiful Vermont and New England. Yeah,
it is. Oh yeah. Ski New England. I'm not one of the big local pride guys. Like, people do that, and I don't go that far, but I do love it here. So that's what that is. That's awesome. It's great. And I mean, I tell people all the time, ski anywhere. Like, if you're kicking around the UK, find a place, go, because there's something different. If you're here, find a place and go. And then, like you said, like, places are open right now in the US because they had wicked early snowfall, but they're way up high. So of course they do. And then we're going to be here in a month. We're going to have stuff going. Our snow guns have been going around here. So it's awesome. I tell everybody, you get the time to travel. If you're in the UK, any other European country, Asia, doesn't matter. Check it out. You'll have a good time. And before you do it, go through the book, Ski A to Z. Check it out. Let's get a few plugs in before we get out of here to make sure everybody knows where to get it. Everybody knows how to get it. Websites, everything, Instagram, go for it.
Yeah, so it's the Ski A to Z, written and illustrated by Kimberley Kay. You can find it by Googling. You can buy it online from your online retailer. You can order it through your little favorite bookshop. And online, I'm at Inspire by Kim. And that's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Instagram's my favorite because it's so visual. Sure, and basically, you can pre-order it now. $12.95 and delivery in December. And yeah, it's basically, if you're looking for that ski gift for someone who is a skier or wants to be a skier, then yeah, go for it. And I mean, it's like you said, it's packed with the art. There's over 100 illustrations, and it's nuggets of information. And so yeah, Pat Sharple said it's a gem, and it's from the heart, and there's a lot in it. So yeah, go for it, and have a great season, everybody, because we all deserve it. And I think everyone will be coming to it all that more grateful, You know what I mean? And those good feelings are going to be amplified by the fact that, you know, it's like, even if people were able to ski last winter, they know that they were lucky, and, you know, we can't take it for granted. And yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Everybody go ahead and pre-order it. It's like she said, it's easy to pre-order. All the links will be down in the description, whether you listen to the audio version of this program or watch the video version on Rumble and YouTube. Wherever you see it, we'll make sure that the word gets out. I'll make sure the word gets out. And enjoy it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I went through it, and I would like to have a copy on my shelf, so that's going to happen. And it's worldwide. I'm US. I can get it. You can get it. So, and UK fans, you can get it, and Aussies, you can get it, and everybody can get it. So very good, very awesome. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this interview. You're very excited, very passionate about it. So if she's this wild about it, we should all be wild about it, I think. Right? Right. Thank you, Miss Kim. I do appreciate you coming on the program. I hope you have a good season as well. And I hope the book is an incredibly huge success around the world. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Anything else before you want to go?
I think just, you know, kind of just find where joy is for you, and lean into that, and, you know, and let's share the joy of skiing and the mountains, because, you know, there's plenty of it to go around for everybody.
Excellent. It's a good message, everybody. All right, Miss Kim, thank you very much. We'll get out of here. Enjoy your day, listeners and watchers, and don't forget to pick it up. Skiing A to Z, coming soon. Thank you, Miss Kim. And there you go, everybody. A lot of fun. Kim was a lot of fun. You could tell she is wicked excited about her upcoming book, Skiing A to Z, written and illustrated by Kimberley Kay. A lot of fun. Thank you, Kim. That was really fun. And like I said during the interview, I really enjoyed the book. And you can get it your own copy, and you can order that now. And one of the places you can do that, if you're watching the video version, you can see it scrolling at the bottom of the screen, inspiredbykim.com. Or check the description for the link. And as I always say, if you're listening in the car, don't just lift up your phone to look in the description. Wait till you get to where you're going. Inspiredbykim.com. Go ahead and pick up the book. Order your copy. You can get it around the world for around $13, I think, US. Do the math with your currency. I can't, because I don't know them, not even in the UK, but that's beside the point. Thank you very much for listening and watching. I thank you. Kim thanks you again. Check out the book, and you saw my favorite picture, the après ski boot. That was pretty sweet, and I can't wait. I'm going to get the book just so I can have that photo. But the book is awesome. A lot of tips, a lot of tricks, a lot of fun stuff, and a lot of fun illustrations. So check that out. And as I said at the beginning, and I say at the end, check out skirexmedia.com for links to everything from written material, podcast, other stuff, Patreon, merch shop, the social media pages, all of it. Check all that out. Skirex Media. I am Tim from Skirex Media, and I thank you again for joining me. And join me next week for more interviews. Who are they? It's as big a surprise to me as it is to you, but we'll see. I know you'll enjoy them, because I always enjoy doing them, and I know many of you enjoy watching them. Don't forget to tell your friends, though. Share the fun, and then like and subscribe and share and rate and use comments and do all that fun stuff for me. Would you please? I would appreciate it, and I appreciate you. I'll see you out on the next one. I'll see you out on the slopes this winter. There's snow flying everywhere already. So I hope you get your share of it soon, and I hope you get outside just as soon. Right? Thank you, everybody. Till next time. Laters.